Valar Morghulis. In this video, or in this format of videos rather, I'm gonna be trying something new. Now, if my subscribers don't necessarily like these videos as much, well then this will become patron only content. But I'm going to be reacting to not just Game of Thrones, but just my favorite things in general. I don't know how many of these I'm going to do, but we're obviously going to start with Game of Thrones because that's my base. Now, I've read every single Song of Ice and Fire book multiple times. I've seen every episode of Game of Thrones like at least 7 times. In this video, I'm going to discuss one of my favorite scenes of the entire series. In particular, Season 7, but really this scene is so fucking gut-wrenching, heart-breaking, traumatic, exciting, powerful, spell-bending, all of that good shit. It's just amazing. It's a good example of how excellent Game of Thrones is and why it's still the greatest TV show of all time. And I might even talk about some scenes that I think will happen in the spinoff for House of the Dragon. But before I get into any of that, please, if you saw my video yesterday, I briefly explained what's going on with YouTube's algorithm. So if you want to help me combat that, just slap a like on this video. Leave me your thoughts on what I say down below. Like, in particular, I'll probably ask questions throughout this video that I want to know your thoughts on. And then also the most important thing, after you slap the like and subscribe and leave me your comment, turn your notifications all the way on. So that way, you'll get an alert every single time I drop a video throughout the wait for House of the Dragon Season 1, or as it's known on this channel, the Long Night. But not only will it notify you, it'll also notify more subscribers. The more people that actually go and watch my video once I upload it, the better it'll do in YouTube's algorithm. So if you want like more details about that, just go watch yesterday's video. But let's jump right into it. Zeldrizas Pusdari Ixos Daur. Now, if you can't already tell by the background, don't forget, please slap a like. The like goal for this video is going to be tree. But if you can't tell from the background, obviously my favorite scenes involve Daenerys and Jon Snow. Now, this is from Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 6, and this is the moments leading up to Daenerys saving Jon Snow. Now, there's a lot more that I wanted to include in this, and me sort of reacting to it, but YouTube's algorithm doesn't allow me to do that, so I'll try to do bits and pieces. And then also, if you want to see me break down this entire episode, well, I did. Just type in Sir Hunt's Game of Thrones Season 7, Episode 6, and I reviewed this entire episode. You could also see me reacting live on YouTube. Those were the glory days. Can't wait for them to return with House of the Dragon. But anyway, jumping right into this, motherfucker. So basically, Daenerys is talking with Tyrion. Jon Snow had to go north of the wall. The episode's called Beyond the Wall, where he has to go grab a white to bring it back to inform the Seven Kingdoms, hey, stop all this fucking war, and let's all unite to fight the undead, right? Doesn't exactly go as Jon Snow plans, and then Dany has to save the fucking day, and she loses a drill. Oops. Tyrion said you can't break the wheel if you're dead. She did break the wheel because she died. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but that you don't necessarily need to. Let's see if I can put on captions. No, there's no captions. The audio and the sound, like the music, is what flags YouTube's algorithm. So I don't include those. It's crazy because it's such an intense scene, and I know, you know, I've seen this like multiple times, so it's not showing on my face, but it reminded me of that scene when The Walking Dead was good, and I think it was Season 6, where basically Negan first makes an appearance, and it's before Glenn and Abraham die, and Rick is running like on the fucking road to try to catch up with the rest of the group. That heavy breathing, that was one of the first times me ever watching TV and feeling the intensity of the scene, right? So, like, I felt like I was fucking running from zombies. I'm like, holy fucking shit. And then Game of Thrones, I think maybe, obviously this came out after that, was a little bit inspired by that, and then they fucking 10 times up it, right? So that intensity of, like, Jon Snow's fighting off zombies, right? So, I think zombies break down like our psyche on different levels, right? So there's like a zombie apocalypse, zombie movies. They make it awesome, seem like you're just killing zombies. You have to because you're surviving. But then there's the also other element of they're humans. You're killing other people. You're chopping something that was once a human into pieces. You're like trying to obviously fight for your life, but the fact that you're killing other humans probably breaks you down even more. So that's why Jon and Tormund are just like lost, you know, and then they bump into each other. Sorry, lost in like just bloodlust, trying to survive, and then they bump into each other, and the camera sort of shows that intensity by slowing it down, increasing the volume on their breathing, having everything move in slow motion in the background. That's their way of sort of visualizing what these characters are thinking. And I think fighting zombies is like, oh, it's badass, but also Jon Snow is, you know, he's an honorable man in killing human or obviously whites, but they were innocent at one point. So Jon is basically killing innocents. These people didn't choose to die and become whites. No, the Night King made them whites. So that's fucking with Jon Snow's head. And then Tormund, it's fucking with his head even worse because he's killing other free folk. These are mostly, for the most part, they're other members of his clan, of his tribes, north of the wall. They're undead. He has to like kill his own people. So it's really fucking intense moment. But continuing on. In this whole scene, Jon's just kind of looking around, taking it all in. He realizes in these moments, he's about to die and he's ready to accept death. He's like, all right, come on, you motherfuckers. I'm not going to go down fighting. And then bam, Daenerys shows up with the motherfucking fire, boy. Roast them bitches. Daenerys like, oh, y'all dead niggas? Fuck y'all niggas, bro. We got the firepower. This scene still gives me chills. You see these goose pimples, dog? Oh, yeah, look at that. Look at that. This shitty camera's not going to zoom in on it. But can you see that? This arm has raised. Because the scene is intense. I remember the first time I saw this, I literally jumped out of my seat so loud that my chair flew backwards, knocked down the bookshelf, and my neighbors made a complaint. They said that I was having a party. Motherfucker, I'm making YouTube videos. I'm making fucking YouTube videos, dude. On my favorite TV shows and movies, dude. Yeah, Drogon lands, bitch. All right, Daenerys is like, which one of you motherfuckers needs a ride? And it's interesting because, not to talk shit about the logic, but remember the scene of Tormund gets on a dragon. Now, mind you, he has no fucking choice, but a season later, he says, what kind of man gets on a dragon? You fucking did it. He tells Jon Snow that when Jon flies Rhaegal. Oh, shit. Olympic motherfucking spear throwing here. I remember this scene made me hate the Night King, although very briefly, made me hate him more than the bastard Ollie. We all know who Ollie is. I started a hashtag fuck Ollie back in Game of Thrones Season 6. It actually took off. Reddit/Free Folk sort of adapted it as their own. But I started that shit. I was one of the first YouTubers to say hashtag fuck Ollie. Everybody else was scared because he's a little kid. I didn't give a shit. He stabbed the boy Jon Snow. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, his blow is the one that was like the final one. Made Jon drop on the TV show. So, all right, here it goes. That's about 500 yards. Look, he holds his hand out for wind direction. He's actually testing to see which way the dragon's going to fly. Boom! Right in the shoulder. Holy shit. That's a main artery, Daenerys. Your sun is going down. It's, you know what's fucked up? Because I was like, there's a way that the dragon could survive this. Because immediately I saw the fire that sort of like, I guess, imploded when he got hit. He was about to breathe flame and it just sort of backlashed. That should have went back in and sort of cauterized those wounds. He shouldn't have bled out so quickly. Another thing, they're in the north. It's cold. One of the reasons why Jon Snow was so intact mentally when he was brought back to life was because his body was basically preserved on ice, right? So these dragons flying north of the wall, they're fucking dragons. You can't kill them as easily. I mean, I guess you can in this show. That'll be something interesting to see if they're going to be as easy to take out when there's so many of them, because maybe the Valyrians at that time, like obviously House Targaryen at that time, Prince Daemon and Rhaenyra, they maybe know how easy it is to kill a dragon. So maybe that's why they had, if I was writing the show, I would make that the reason why they put saddles and armor on their dragons. And then Daenerys obviously her family went so many years without dragons, they sort of forgot that. There was no need to continue that tradition. And then obviously Daenerys gets dragons, know nothing about it. And, that's part of the reason why maybe she can't control Drogon as well. Obviously in the books, Drogon is nowhere near as big as he is now. Daenerys just mounts him and sort of flies out of the pits of Daznak, goes off into the grass, and gets picked up by a team of Dothraki. That's pretty much where she is in the books. I don't know. I hope they do. They kind of have to, because there's a certain death canonically in which a saddle is involved, and you can't have that image not depicted in the adaptation. There's certain things you can do, like not include certain characters, right? Not change the race of certain characters. Sure, do all of that shit, but you have to adapt death scenes to a T, especially this one. It's a really fucking famous one. But a saddle is literally used in the process, and you can't sort of jump off of a dragon's spikes to do that. You need to be sort of saddled in to make that death scene accurate. But continuing on here. There's no really that much of a need for me to react to this dragon dying. It's so fucking painful. Bye, Viserion. Bye. Sinking beneath the waves, only to become the blue eyes white dragon. It's like the feeling. Look, goosebumps again. This fucking scene is amazing. The feeling that they all have on their face. It's sort of like the camera starts. Let me go back to double check. The camera starts with people who obviously Tormund feels something, right? Beric feels something, but it sort of goes from who has more emotion down the line, right? So you start with the Hound. He has no fucking emotion at all, right? He's a ruthless, savage dog. Obviously, that's not correct, but I'm just saying. Then you have Beric, who's been brought back, right? He just lost Thoros before this, so he's feeling something because he's already vulnerable. Then you have Tormund. Remember, I told you, Tormund killing all those whites affected him way more than it did Jon Snow because they're other wildlings. And then you have the closest person to Daenerys ever, Jorah. He obviously feels the most for Viserion next to Daenerys. So the everything about this fucking scene is perfect. It really is perfect. Then you see Kit go fucking savage. He takes our pain and emotion and turns it into anger, right? He does what we all want to do. He one hits a fucking white, basically. No, you must run, Daenerys. I'm just kidding. Go. The Night King's coming, and the dead come with it. Shit, and he goes down. Alright, so look, I think I've shown enough of this. You all get the point. We all know what happens after this. Daenerys and company go back to the wall. Jon meets up with Benjen. Benjen saves his fucking life, and then Jon obviously rides to the wall. Then him and Daenerys on the boat. Hashtag boat sex, baby. Oh, shit, my alarm's going off. All right, well, that's perfect time. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this format, I will make more videos. If not, I planned on uploading these weekly onto my Patreon. If you are interested in joining my Patreon and showing some love and support and just helping combat YouTube deranking of my channel, slap a like on this. Like goal is going to be 3, but if you want to do a little bit more and show some support, consider checking out my Patreon over on patreon.com/SirHuntsReviews. I want to thank every single motherfucking person for watching. My name's Mark. This has been Sir Hunts. Long night reviews. Zaldrizas buzdari, Ixos daor.